Welcome back, everybody. It's been a very long time since I've posted a video. Recap: the Fiat blew up. I was tearing it apart, and then I kind of just didn't want to do anything with it anymore. I had done what I wanted to do with it. I did a T-Jet swap. I had fun with the car, and I was kind of like, meh. I was like, you know what? I'm not really feeling the Fiat anymore. So scrapped that whole project, sold all the parts, sold the shell of the car, sold everything I possibly could. I think the only thing I have left is the intercooler, and that's it. So I was like, whatever, I got nothing to do content with. I picked up a bike, and that was my fun toy for a while, and the bike was a blast, has been a blast, still is a blast. I will probably get another one, but I'm selling the bike. It should be going this week, so hopefully by the time the video shows up, it's already gone. But I picked up another car, and a lot of people are probably gonna, you know, talk on it. Whatever. It's a project car. It needs some love. It needs some work, but I think it'll be pretty fun to work on, and overall just get back into working on cars again, because I really enjoyed that stuff. I really enjoyed just tinkering with it. There's only so much you can do with a bike, so I needed something to tinker on again, and I think I found something that's pretty cool. So this is my 2008 Chevrolet HHR SS. Yes, sir. So we got this thing right here, and honestly, I think it's great. I love it. I love everything about it. I think it's like the coolest little, if you want to, sleeper, the coolest little sleeper that probably is out there. It's so unsuspecting just looking at it, and unless you know about the SS badge and you know where to look for it, you're not gonna know. You're just gonna think it's some regular old HHR. And yeah, I honestly am in love with it already, and I've only had it a couple days, but I can't get enough of it. I think it's the coolest little sport wagon, and I've wanted like wagons, and this technically classifies as a wagon if you really. But I think this will be so much fun to work on. So pros: it is a 4-cylinder turbo under the hood. It is a manual transmission. It is El Manuel, and it only has 159,000 miles on it, which, you know, is on the high side. But if you look at the Fiat, this is only 19,000 more miles on this than the Fiat. I had 140-ish on the Fiat before it went. So, not much, you know, not much difference. Cons: it's got a few issues. Number one, numero uno, the biggest, is I have some bad compression in cylinder 1. The person I bought it from didn't even know it had bad compression. I knew it ran kind of crappy. The owner had chalked that up to the tune from the previous owner being the issue, and I guess I could see that as, you know, part of the problem. But 159,000 miles, timing has never been done, so more than likely we got either a stretch chain or a bad tensioner or something timing wise that is causing some problem in cylinder 1. I did a wet compression test and a dry compression test. Wet compression showed 155, and all the other cylinders matched. All the other cylinders are like 155 to 157, which is perfectly healthy. That's a really good range. But cylinder 1 on a dry compression test showed 72. So we have some sort of valve that is causing some issues. So that's number one. Number one is compression. Number two, The turbo is pushing oil through it. More than likely some bad turbo seals. I don't know what that really means in the long run, because with the Fiat, I never had that issue. I never had oil problems with the turbos. Those turbos were always solid. Never had turbo seal failure or anything like that. So more than likely I'm just going to replace the turbo. It is a stock turbo, so I don't feel like I need to keep a stock one in there. I'm going to throw a nice one in there. And number 3 is I have some suspension issues. Obviously you can see these tires are not the greatest on the front. The rears are pretty new though, but it has some minor suspension problems. I think the suspension is just shot and I need to just do a rebuild on it. But other than that, there's really not a whole lot of other issues. There's some minor like bits and bobs, but that's just normal for these cars. I've talked with a couple HHR owners, just normal HHRs, and the problems I'm having are the same ones they have with their HHRs. One of which being the motor for the front seat doesn't work. So I can't adjust my seat. It's kind of just stuck there. Luckily it's not in a horrible position to drive a manual. It's not my preferred comfort position, but it just doesn't work like I want it to. The switch for the passenger window on this side doesn't work, but the window does go down using that switch, and you can roll it up with this switch. You just can't roll it down. I think overall idea for this build is probably a murdered out look. I think that'd be really clean. Get some black wheels. I know black wheels are a sin in the car community nowadays, but I think some black wheels with a black car, blacked out lights, blacked out everything, and just fully murder everything out, I think would be really cool. Something that would be really cool is maybe if I murder out the whole car and then I paint the calipers a different color just to help give us some sort of color, and then I could do an overlay on these SS badges, do an overlay to show, you know, match the color of the overlay to the calipers. I think that'd be pretty cool. That might be a cool idea. But yeah, this is the new project. This is what I'm gonna make content on. It's still technically drivable as of right now. It's just very, very rough. This thing is fun. Even though, you know, it's not running properly and it's got some minor flaws, I've already had a blast driving it. I drove a Cobalt SS with the same motor, the turbo 4-cylinder, and it reminded me so much of the Fiat. I was like, you know what? I want to get something like this. I want to do that. But to get a Cobalt SS, the prices on them are like stupid high because they're really sought after, especially the turbo ones. These, on the other hand, not so sought after. So yeah, that's the new project. That's the new plan. I'm gonna have some fun with this, and I really can't wait to get it actually running properly. Obviously, we're gonna do a head, and we're gonna do a turbo. Obviously, I gotta do timing. I think I'm gonna throw some cams into it because I think that'd be really fun just to have a cammed, you know. Camming a 4-banger sometimes doesn't sound it, you can't really hear it, but having a cammed HHR would be pretty cool. I think I'll get a hoot out of that. So I think I'll throw some cams in there. We'll do a new head, we'll do a new turbo. It's got a brand new clutch in it, so I don't have to worry about that. The intercoolers on these actually hold up very, very well, so I probably won't have to replace that unless I'm gonna go balls to the wall with power, and I don't think I will. But I think this is gonna be a lot of fun. I think you guys are gonna have a lot of fun with me as well. I think it's gonna be a great experience for all of us. Learning on a new platform. As most of you know, I only exclusively have a lot of knowledge when it comes to Fiats. I have a lot of knowledge when it comes to the Fiat motor, the Fiat transmission, everything Fiat. I have decent baseline mechanic knowledge, but not enough for specific cars, like this motor. Completely different. It has VVTi. The TJet doesn't have VVTi. It's got a high pressure fuel pump. TJet didn't have a high pressure fuel pump. Direct injected. I don't know how direct injection like fully works. I know it's different. I know the injectors are in a different spot. I know that it takes a lot more pressure to push fuel into the combustion chamber versus a port injection system. That's completely different. There's a lot of stuff I'm gonna have to learn because of how many different things are on this motor. But I think I have enough baseline knowledge and enough friends who have good knowledge that are gonna be willing to help me. So probably a person you'll see a lot of is Briley. He's got 2 Cobalt SS's, He's got the LSJ Cobalt, which is the supercharged 2-liter, and then he has an LNF, which the LNF is the turbocharged motor, which is exactly what's in the HHR. So you'll probably see him around a lot because he's got good knowledge on these cars. And maybe some other people who you've seen before, but I think it's just going to be a fun little project thing. So I did a little bit of cleaning in here. You can see on this side it kind of cleaned up okay. This section here is going to be the biggest problem. The back of the seats I haven't touched yet. This side did not clean up very nicely. I might just see if I can find some actual stock plastic pieces, like some trim pieces. If I can find some, I might just replace it, or I'll just rip these out and repaint them because this looks really bad. I did also replace my terminal wire because that thing was absolutely horrible, and this is now secure and not going anywhere. It does have wiring for a sub, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not. If I am, I'm going to do something. I'm going to get rid of this little thing right here. It's for the spare tire. And I'll make a nice little box in this area for it, because I don't want to just throw a sub in here and have it moving around and everything like that. So I'll see if I can mess around with that. But yeah, it's going to take a lot of cleaning to clean up the back of this car. That's for sure. So anyway, yeah, that's basically going to be it. It's just a nice little intro to the new car, and just finishing up the one thing that I said I needed to do, which was that wire, and trying to my best to clean up the rear end, but it's going to take a lot more work than originally I thought. So if you'd like to see more of this project, which I'm sure a lot of you will, if you'd like to see more, subscribe, click on the little bell, leave a like or a comment down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.